This is hands down the best update to the furniture mod we have seen so far. Welcome back everybody, it is MrCrayfish, and we are checking out two new blocks today. One you already know is the Mailbox, but the second is a brand new block called the Postbox. And from this update forward, you're going to be able to send mail anywhere around the world. Should we take a sneak peek? Let's go! This update today has been a solid week's worth of work, and I'd appreciate if you could drop a like down below, and also consider subscribing and turning on the bell notifications so you can stay up to date with every furniture mod update. But we are taking a look at something I've always wanted to implement in the furniture mod, and that is a functional mail system. Alright, starting it straight off at Craig here this time. You guys already know it's coming. We are checking out the brand new Mailbox and the Postbox because I've implemented an awesome system now in the furniture mod that you guys are going to absolutely love. So in the first crate here, we have the brand new Mailboxes. Let's go ahead, let's take a look at them, and boom, here they are. Coming in every single wood variant, of course. So we have the kind of normal log ones, and then we have the stripped log versions of the Mailboxes. Let's go ahead, grab all these out right now. And again, people are going to be annoyed. I don't care. I'm going to take them out one by one if I want to. All right? You can't tell me what to do. All right, let's check these out. And you can probably notice straight away the Mailboxes have a brand new model, of course. How much better does this look? I spent quite some time prototyping, as I always do for all the new models in the furniture mod, and this is the one that I actually finished. I came up with. It looks pretty good. It has a nice slanted roof now and looks a lot more like a mailbox than the previous one did. It feels a lot more homey. So that is the oak one. Let's go ahead, let's place all the other ones down. So we have the spruce, the birch. I actually haven't looked at all these, so this is actually a first for me. We have the jungle, acacia, dark oak, and then we're going on to the stripped variants now. So we have the oak version, spruce, the birch one, and let's go get out the final three. We have the jungle variant, acacia, and then finally the dark oak. How amazing do all these models look? I'm actually I haven't seen them all in a line like this before, and they just look beautiful. They look absolutely beautiful. But let's get into the more interesting part of the Mailbox, and if we go ahead and we right click on it, it's actually going to open up an inventory here. So up here we have the Mailbox inventory, down here is just a regular, and as you can see, this Mailbox is owned by me, MrCrayfish, and then the name of the Mailbox is just called Mailbox. Now you can actually change this around, because if you're going to be sending mail to someone, you want to be able to figure out which is the correct mailbox to send it to. So let's say your friend tells you, hey, send it to my house mailbox. You're going to know because the mailbox is going to be named that. So in order to change that around, you have to press this button to the right here. You may have noticed it. Press that and it's going to take you to a GUI where you can change around the name. So we could go ahead and call this house 1. And then we go ahead, click save, and then as you can see in the title there, it now says house 1. And we'll see later in this video when we actually open up the post box. You'll be able to see that name on that mailbox. Or I've actually got some mailboxes already set up around my town, which we're going to be trying out. And I've got something special near the end of this video that you guys do not want to miss, because it really, it's gonna blow your mind how amazing these mailboxes are, because you're gonna think, oh, I'm just gonna send mail to my friends. Well, no, there is a much cooler feature that is unintentional, but really, it's crazy. You guys are gonna love it, so stick around. But yeah, that's how you can rename your mailboxes. But I think the next step to these mailboxes is checking out the crafting recipe first before we move on to the postbox. How do you actually craft these? Well, what you're going to need is some chests, and then in order to craft, you need to get out the corresponding upgraded fence. So if I want an oak one, or if I want a stripped one, I get out the stripped upgraded fence. Go to your crafting, pop that in there, pop 2 fences, like upgraded fences like that, and then a chest at the top, and that will give you a mailbox. And then we can do that for the other one as well. Pop that there, and that gives us the regular or the stripped variant. But let's move on to the next piece of furniture, and I've already mentioned it. It is the Postbox, and this is how you are going to be able to send mail to a mailbox. So let's go ahead, let's open up the inventory here, and here we have it, the Postbox. Have a look at this thing. So let's go ahead, let's just place it down over here. We're actually going to destroy a bunch of those except for the first one here, because this is the one we've given a custom name to it. We should actually, maybe let's just go ahead, let's bring this over here just so I don't have to run over there. We're going to go ahead and rename this again to House 1. So if you don't remember, go over to here, click that, and you can change around your name. Really cool. But here is the Postbox. Now, let's admire the model real quickly, so you can tell that it's a Postbox because it has like an envelope thing on the side. It has like a little kind of little opening there for us to put mail in. Well, not really, because how we actually send mail is we need to open it up. So we right click here, and this is the GUI in order to send mail. And this took me quite some time to, create this design, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So here we have a list of all the mailboxes in the entirety of Minecraft. So you can send mail to anybody in the overworld, anybody in the end, anybody in the nether, in any dimension, which is a really crazy thing about this mail system. Like, it's not a crazy thing, it's a really cool feature about this mail system. No matter the dimension, you can send it to that mailbox. So as you can see, we have a bunch of mailboxes already placed around the world. So we have one at my weapon shop, my mansion, and when we actually click on these, as you can see, it actually selects it. So that's what you have to do. In a second here, I'll show you. So we have all these different ones around my town. So what I want to do is I want to send some mail to this mailbox here, and we know kind of which one it is. It's owned by me, and the name of it is called House 1. So you could go into this list here, scroll down and find it. So as you can see, we found it here, House 1, MrCrayfish. But maybe an easier way is using this search bar at the top here. So maybe your friend said, hey, send it to House 1. You can type in house #1, and as you can see, it's the only one in the list here. We're going to click on that. Now, I actually want to send something to it. Let's go ahead, let's grab a diamond. Maybe your friend owes you a diamond. So let's go ahead, we can click on it there. We'll go ahead, just search again. Oopsie, did I spell that right? Hold up. What's going on? Oh, there it is. Okay, it didn't scroll back up to the top. That was kind of weird. A little bit of a bug I'll have to look into, but let's click on House 1. This is the mailbox that we want to send it to, and then all you have to do is put the item in this slot at the top right here, and then you'll notice that this button becomes enabled. If we go ahead, click on that button, boom, the item is now gone because it has been sent to the mailbox. And if we go ahead and we open this up right now, we should notice that a diamond is in the inventory. Boom! There it is, the diamond we just sent to it. And just to show you that this is no tricks and this can go super far, we're going to go ahead, send some mail to my mansion right now. So what do I want to send? I want to send, have I got cheese and crackers? Do I still got cheese and crackers? No, I don't have that resource pack on. But let's go ahead, send some cookies because, I need some food back at the mansion. Click on this, and I've typed in mansion. I named my mailbox at the mansion. I put the item in the slot here. I click send, and that is going to send it to the mansion. So let's head back over there, or let's head over to my mansion and check out what is in the mailbox. Alright, we back at my house, and from my knowledge, we should have some cookies in here. Let's go ahead, let's open it up. Boom! There they are, the cookies that I ordered. How amazing is that? So that is the brand new mail system, guys. How, like, this is just, as I've said already, this is something I've wanted to implement for ages, and it's only because I was inexperienced back then that I couldn't really implement such system. But now that I've gained knowledge, you know, something like this is actually quite easy for me. It just kind of takes time to implement. So that is how you go. That is how you use the brand new mail system, guys. But now we're going to go ahead, take a look at the crafting recipe for the Postbox. But after this, I want to show you some really cool trick that you can do with this mail system that is 100% kind of like unintentional. Oh yeah, also something you can do as well is maybe you don't want to search for the name of the mailbox. You can actually just type in the username of a player, so MrCrayfish, and as you can see, this will only come up with mailboxes under the username of MrCrayfish. So if you're trying to just like search up all your friends' mailboxes, put in their username and it will just come up with all of them. Alright, so how do you craft the Postbox? Well, it's quite simple. You're going to need a blue shulker box and then some iron ingots. Pop the blue shulker box in the middle, surround it with iron ingots, and that will give you the Postbox. Super, super simple. Now, I'm going to show you some pretty cool tricks that you can do with this brand new mail system. These tricks that I'm about to show you are actually unintentional uses of the mail system. Like, this is not, how a mail system would normally work, but you can use it like this if you really want to. But let's go ahead, let's start this off right now. So this is my little warehouse, or I should say factory, that I've kind of like set up here. It's a very small house, but we're going to be doing a bunch of things in this in a second here. Let's go ahead, let's get a brand new mailbox. I think I'm going to go for the stripped acacia one there. Let's place that at the front, and let's also change the name around. So I'm going to call this factory mailbox. Let's just say that. Factory mailbox. There we go. Okay, so I've switched over to survival mode, and what we're going to do now is we're going to head off and start some caving. So I've got some items in the chest here. We've got a bit of a pickaxe, we've got some food, and then we've also got a post box which we're going to bring along with us. So let's say you are mining in a cave and you find some ores. Maybe it's not coal here, but maybe let's say this is diamond. You've just found a lot of diamonds. Well, you want to make sure that they are 100% safe. Well, now because we've got the post box on us, we can send this directly home straight away. So if you just go ahead, quickly place that down, and then we put our theoretical diamonds here into that slot there, and then we click our factory mailbox, we can send that directly home, and those items are now safe. We don't have to keep them on us. We don't have to worry about dying. We don't have to worry about keeping track of our coordinates when we die. We can just send it directly home, and the items will be safe. Now I'm back home. Let's take a look inside the mailbox, and we should see the 6 coal that we sent back, and there it is. Let's grab that out. We can go ahead, store that away. And yeah, that is one cool trick that you can do with this new mail system. But the next one I'm going to show you is going to blow your mind, and this is going to be useful for tech people or even non-tech people. You can just do this if you're a normal player. Now, if you're not familiar with the mechanics of Minecraft, there is something called spawn chunks, and they are basically chunks that are always loaded regardless of where you are in the overworld. This means that things like furnaces, brewing stands, anything kind of like those type of mechanics will keep running even if you are not near them. So this means that, we could send some items to the mailbox here and have, let's say, something like a hopper extract it from it, because this is an inventory. We could put a hopper underneath here and send that item into something like a furnace. We could put it into a chest, and that is what we're going to do right now. So the first thing that you need to do is actually find your spawn chunks. Now, I'm going to put a video in the description which will show you how to find all your spawn chunks, but if you're just a normal player, all you're going to need to do is get a compass. I'm not sure if bed spawns, I'm not sure if the compass goes towards your bed, but I would say if you do have a bed, just destroy it temporarily so the compass points back. But what you need to do is follow the compass needle until you get to a point where it's basically the center of your world, and this is basically your spawn chunks. As you can see, I've actually strategically placed my house here already, but you want to follow the needle until you get to a point where it just kind of keeps turning around. And as you can see, as I walk back and forth here, it goes backwards. It wants me to go this way, but now it wants me to go forward. So this right here is actually the center of my spawn chunks, and 10 chunks in any direction here is the spawn chunk. So my house is definitely within that that center point and will always be loaded regardless of wherever I am in the overworld. So we are now going to set up a little bit of a system here. What I want to do is I want to be able to send items to the mailbox here and then have the items extracted and put into the furnace. We're also going to have another mailbox which is going to be for the fuel here, and then that means that anytime, you know, maybe we're caving or something like that, we send items to this, you know, the items are going to automatically smelt, and then when we come back to my house, you know, they're already going to be done. You know, we're going to be able to go ahead, get the ingots out, start processing them, and doing, you know, just creating armor and normal things that you would do in Minecraft. So let's go ahead, let's start this now. We're going to switch back to creative mode here. So we're going to get a mailbox. We're also going to need a hopper real quickly. So this is actually 2-story, believe it or not. You'd be surprised, but this is a 2-story house. So we can actually go up the top here, and our furnace is below. So we're going to go ahead, have hoppers going into the top of the furnace like that, and then we're also going to put hoppers here so we can actually have fuel going into the side. So putting hoppers going to the top means it goes into this top one, and then doing it into the side means it goes into the fuel slot. Let's head up the top here, have hoppers coming up here, and then we're going to place 2 mailboxes, one here and then one there. We're going to change the name of this first one to input, and then this one we might change that to we might just change this to fuel. There we go. Now, as I said, the mailbox is an inventory, so any items that get sent to it, the hopper below will pull them out and then put them into the furnace below here. So let's go ahead, let's test this out now. So we're going to go on another mining adventure, and what we need to do is we need to find some coal, we need to find some iron to actually test this out. Now, I want to actually go really fast, so what I'm going to do is go into spectator mode. I'm going to go maybe like 2,000 blocks away because I want to make sure that, you know, I'm definitely I'm really far away that you would think that they would be unloaded. I also want to not do any cuts here just to prove that, you know, I didn't put anything into those mailboxes, you know, during a cut or something like that. So I'm going to keep talking here. Have we got a little bit of a cave here? Have we got some coal? Have we got some iron? Perfect. Here we go. All right. Let's switch back over to here. Let's also go to survival mode. Let's start mining this up right now. We'll get our postbox as well. So what we need to do is once we've mined this, we need to place the... whoop. Okay. Wow. That glitched me out a little bit there. How far are we actually? Oh, we're 2,000 blocks away. Nice. Basically 2,000 blocks away. So now that we've got our iron, we've got our coal. We're going to go ahead, place the postbox down. We're going to select the input, which should be our iron ore. Send that to there. We're going to now select the fuel, put our coal into there, send that off. And then right now, as we are speaking, it should be smelting those iron ores. And it's kind of crazy to believe, but it is actually happening right now. And that's a really cool thing about spawn chunks. And this is honestly the first time I've ever really cared about spawn chunks at all. So we're going to head back in a second here, and we should see that you know, in the furnace there is completely smelted iron ores. So let's go ahead, let's head back into creative mode. I'm doing no cuts. I want to make sure I'm doing this properly. I think we'll wait a couple of seconds here. Oh, there's a nice little village over here. That is actually a beautiful village if I've ever seen one. That's really nice. Like, it's like in the middle of the ocean, but it's so colorful. All right, let's head back. I think it's this way. So I think by now I think this is the correct way. I think now it should be done, and hopefully we don't get lost here. I did just go in one direction. Okay, we're good. I feel like I've seen this before. All right. Hello? Anybody? Okay, we're not lost. We're not lost. I've definitely seen this. Okay, we are back home now. No cuts, none of that. Just raw, and let's take a look in the furnace here. It looks like it's probably smelted already, but let's take a look. Boom! There they are. The iron ingots already, well, the iron ore already smelted when we got back here. That definitely would not be possible if it wasn't in the spawn chunks. Like, if we were to come back here and this wasn't the spawn chunks, that would only have just started to smelt. But as we saw when we opened it up initially, the iron ingots already smelted, and this could be used for so many different things. This is just one example of what you could do. You know, you could put this into like a filter system. You could send like all your items through the mailbox system that filters them all out, puts them into specific chests. They could also go into like just a regular chest like that. Maybe you want to make sure that it's stored properly. There are so many cool things that you can do with this, and I would definitely love to see what you guys actually come up with using this system. So let me know if you do have any ideas or what you're planning to use this for. But that is unfortunately going to end off this video today. This update is now available, so download link is in the description below. Go ahead, download it right now. And if you guys haven't already and you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you could go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on that bell notification, and I will catch you guys soon for another video. I've also got a video up on my second channel as well, so go check that out too. I'd appreciate it. And yeah, bye guys.